All right, y'all. Welcome to Couch Chronicles with Cold and Cultured. I am your host, Be Free. This is
Sydney
and Jewel and Siobhan.
We just gonna hang out with y'all today and talk on the couch, and y'all just can join us. That's what we here for. All right, y'all. What's up?
All right, juice.
The Soulful UAE juice.
Yes. Shout out to Soulful UAE for sponsoring our beverages for today. Make sure you check them out on IG. What does it taste like?
Health in a bottle.
It's like celery and
kale.
Yeah. It's kale, right? It's celery in there?
It's
celery.
And ginger.
In the middle of this pandemic, this is important.
Yes.
And we are thankful that we have a sister here that is looking out for us in every way.
Yes.
From the food to the drinks.
Mind, body, and soul.
Yes, mind, body, and soul for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, please make sure y'all also keep y'all a mask on hand.
Cause y'all, we done seen y'all out here in these streets.
Yes.
And we worried.
Keep y'all some of these masks on hand. Get you some juice
Yes.
for your immune system.
Boost it.
Boost your immune system.
16.
We over here looking like triplets with these
stripes
on.
Bing, bing.
That wasn't planned.
It wasn't. This wasn't planned.
We'll see.
None of this was
We'll see the memo next
I
time.
didn't get the memo.
So, usually we do like our journaling, but today Brittany brought to light, like, this is officially like, they're ending their first official year of teaching abroad here in Dubai. And so this has been a tumultuous year. And so today we're going to journal, but instead of writing, we're just going to kind of share out with you guys. We're going to journal about what our experience has been like. And also, I guess we could just start with, what have you learned about yourself through your international teaching experience? What do you feel like are the biggest things you learned about yourself?
Well, maybe how did we get out here? Because Lord knows.
That's true.
Jesus. Take the wheel.
It's been a different battle for everyone. So what do y'all
So first of all, where are we?
Dubai.
We is in Dubai, y'all.
We in the giant sandbox.
The sandbox. that it is. The sandbox.
Yes.
All right, so Siobhan, how did you get out here?
I got out here by the grace of God.
Hello. Hallelujah.
Hello.
Amen. I taught in DC previously, and I was just not having a good experience. I just wasn't. And like, I love teaching, I love my kids, but I won't lie, I let a lot of outside forces and outside things really like take me out of my love and joy for teaching. So I was looking to get that joy back, and I had a friend who was international teaching, actually two friends. And I always wanted to do it anyway. In college, I like studied abroad, and I just knew I would live out the country. And so this was a perfect opportunity. Everybody pissing me off at work. I was like, look, I'm just about to go. Like, I left everything, Kindles, iPads, books. I swear, I just left in the middle of the night. I mean, I finished my contract because I don't want to mess up my teaching license. But I really did was like, F everything and just come out here. And I was grateful. I had a friend who worked at the company that I work for, which is pretty, it's pretty legit. Like, I work for a really good school. And so she looked out for me. She was working in the PE department. And she put me on, and my interview was exactly 12 minutes and 68 seconds. Like 12 minutes and 8 seconds. And I counted it down because I was nervous. And then from there, like right after that, they emailed me my contract, and I was like, this is what I'm doing. So that was my experience getting here.
Okay. What about you, Sydney?
So I wanted to teach in Dubai specifically since college. So I had a friend, I don't even know how the Dubai thing came about, like teaching in Dubai. But then after I graduated, I had a friend that was a year older than me. She came out to the UAE. So then I just started connecting with her about how her experience was. And I was in school getting my master's degree, so I wanted to wait to get that to try to get some extra money. And then I kind of started the process. I was originally hired for another school at a bigger company, and they just weren't moving at my speed, and it was kind of moving a little slow. So, inshallah. And So then the school I'm at just hit me up, and within like 3 days of them reaching out to me, I had the job, and I came out here, and it was an experience coming out here. I've had prophets, and I say the term loosely, try to tell me that God told them that I was not coming out to Dubai. That God said I was not coming to Dubai. But God really said, listen to me, oh ye of little faith. Okay?
Yes.
So after that false prophets, the Bible talks about it, I prayed, and this is just landed me here, and I really got everything that I prayed for. I prayed for a great community, I got it. I prayed for a job in Dubai, and I got it. So I really, when you said grace of God, that was for real. I really got out here by the grace of God, and just in a constant state of gratitude.
All right. What about you, Joe?
Well, I have done this overseas things through Camp Adventure, and I started my TESOL program, and I was in the middle of it. I did a study abroad, Montenegro. I'm like, I'm going to do something different at the end of this year. This is not where it's at. I'm going to do something with this degree. So I started looking, and I ended up in Dubai. Fujairah had done an offer for me, but I really wanted Dubai, the culture, not feeling as if I might be in culture shock, moving to one of the smaller Emirates. So I ended up here in Dubai, and again, God was totally all over this.
All around us.
Mm-hmm.
Praying for a group of people who loved Him and got that. Great. So that's how I ended up here. That's for you, man.
Well, mine. Y'all, this funny. So I really wasn't. I had applied over the summer, and I didn't hear anything back. But I did actually interview. I was in Jacksonville, and I interviewed with the school in Atlanta because I was gonna go home, and they did offer me the job at the interview, and I told them, I was like, I want to wait because I hadn't packed up nothing in Jacksonville. When I say I wasn't even prepared to move, it was just like, I want a job. So I had put a poll up on Instagram, and I was like, should I stay in Jacksonville one more year? And everybody was saying no. But then I was like, y'all gonna let me come stay with y'all? So literally, exactly. The school year I ended up turning down the job in Atlanta. I ended up staying in Jacksonville, and the school year had started. We were like 1 week into school, and I got a call about the job, and they were like, oh, you want to interview? I was like, sure, I'll take the interview because you're gonna give me the opportunity. I ain't gonna turn you down on the interview. So I think I missed the first interview. Yeah, I was asleep.
Oh,
I missed the first
The interview times do get off. Like my interview was like at 11:30 at night. So like,
I missed like the first, but it wasn't with the director. I think it was just like setting it up. So I did miss that. But then I did have the interview. It was very brief. And literally I got the job, and I was leaving Jacksonville within a week's time. Like I got the job 1 week, I was leaving the following week. So I literally had to pack up my apartment. Thank you so much to my mom and my sister-in-law for coming down to finish packing my apartment for me. Yes, but literally, like I said, that wasn't nobody but God. It just happened so seamlessly, like so smooth. When I was worried, like, oh my God, like I'm just leaving in the middle of the year. I told my principal. Luckily, we had a new principal at the time, so our previous principal, I had been with her for a couple years, so it would have been harder for me to leave her. But we had a brand new principal. The year had just literally started. So luckily, like I wasn't too attached to the kids, even though some of them knew me previously from 4th grade, moving up, but it just happened so fast. Literally 2 weeks, and I was out. So yeah, so we are all in Dubai, and we have just finished our first year of teaching abroad. Yay. So we just wanted to kind of discuss our experience and what brought us out here, and now how's it been? First year, 180 days.
I want to know, like, I know for me, I've learned a lot about myself through this experience. Mm-hmm. So, like, one thing I learned about myself through this experience, and just any experience where you're taken completely out of your comfort zone, is that, like, when it feels like your world is pulled from under you, like, you learn a lot about how you can fly and you can manage with the things that you were not used to, like your family or, you know, friends or old vices that you would go to. And I felt like what I learned about myself the most when I came out here was that I am capable of, like, getting things done on my own. Like, a lot of times, like, from, when I got to the airport, like, who's going to help me with all this? Like, how am I going to do this? Like,
girl, you should have told me with them $8 Girl, I spent $800 USDA bringing luggage back. The man was like, "Is this just for you?"
Yeah, yes. I spent $400.
It's expensive.
It is.
But shout out to my mama's sister for driving me to Chicago so I didn't have to spend as much.
Oh, that's good.
Well, they only were giving us 2 bags. And how do I pack it my whole life for 2 years and 2 bags?
But, you know, it was some of my white counterparts when I pulled up to that airport, they only had 2 bags for a family of 4.
Oh,
and here I was, just me, 5 bags. I was like, so my next international
bag just for hair care products.
Yeah. Yes. In the UAE. Yes.
Bag just for hair care products.
And I did. And they were vacuum sealed so I could fit extra hair care products.
And I have now locked my hair so I can limit my products. Because I struggle. If you don't do it yourself, then you're going to be out here on your own. Because, I mean, you can get your hair braided, but, you know, like, that's not real hair care. So you really do. And I was just happy to get locks because I don't really have to do too much with my hair anymore.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of, like, wearing, like, rocking the natural so often.
So good.
But, because I love my hair straightened, too, but, baby, this heat.
It ain't gonna let you do too much.
You walk try to be here outside, and you looking like this.
Yeah.
Get to the car just drenched.
Yes.
Over with. It's so hot.
You've sweated in places you've never sweated before. And
I'm sweating your arm right here, kneecaps,
behind
your
knees, like
your fingers,
your eyelids, sweat, everything.
The back of your ear, you be like,
wow. How does this? And it's like as soon as you walk outside.
Yeah.
Glasses be fogging up, phone fogging up.
And now with these masks, it's over with.
Girl, they be so hot on my face.
You don't even want to leave the house, it's so hot.
Yeah. And it's like you forget really how hot it is till you have to walk outside. Because I remember we were at the restaurant, I was like, it was so cool in there. You walk out, I was like, oh, I'm in Dubai.
Yeah.
It take you, like, when I first got off the plane, like, came out, like, my body literally had to get adjusted. Like, it was like breath was taken out of me. Now we're adjusted so we can breathe in it. But when you first, the amount of humidity and, like, moisture in the air on top of it being hot as hell, like, it's literally like you have to, like, actively breathe. So it's a complete climate change. Like,
yeah. And you would think it's dry heat, but it's not. Like, it's very humid.
It's wet.
But I've never heard of the ocean water being hot until I got here.
Yeah, that's like bath water.
Yes.
We went to the beach the other day. It was a jacuzzi.
Honestly.
It was a jacuzzi.
It was hot. Like, I thought, you know, back in the U.S., that night, they get cold, and then, but at night, it's still high 90s. Like, it's never cooling down.
Stepped in the water, and the water wasn't cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this year has taught me a lot. Like Kat says, I have to leave my American brain at home. Because how things run and operate here is totally different than what we're used to in the States. So I've definitely had to pack some patience. A lot of patience. And just kind of redirect my focus and my energy when it comes to things. I feel like I accomplished a lot this year. I got my master's this year, so I was excited about that. Started some new business ventures this year. So I'm glad. I'm definitely glad for the opportunity. It's taught me a lot teaching wise, like what I'm capable of, how to really differentiate instruction out here, because it's not like it is in the States. We deal with a lot. Teaching is very hands-on here. They are English language learners. So it's not like your typical Spanish speaking students that we have back in that I had back in the States. There are a lot of accommodations that you have to make. There are a lot of adjustments that you have to make towards, how they view teachers here versus in the States. But I'm definitely grateful for the experience. I think the biggest thing for me is being able to come out here and just see the lifestyle of how people live, and how it reflects in education. So why are these students the way they are? How do they adopt these customs and cultures? Has been interesting because I've been in at the Atlanta area. I've been in Florida, and most of the demographics is the same. So to be able to come over here and it be like extremely different, it's been a journey, to say the least.
For sure.
What about you?
I've learned that I can handle a lot more than what I thought I could. And I'm not as easily broken like I thought. So, because this year, Jesus has been... You would think it's like 20 years packed into this 1 year. Because like with everything that I went through with not just work, but personally, and then now this global pandemic, it's like I've overcome a lot more. And I'm very close with my family. So being, like, before I came out here, my dad was like, I don't think you're going to leave your mother. I'm not going to believe it until I see you on the plane. Like, you're not going to leave your mama. You're not going to leave your mother. And in the back of my mind, it's like, I'm going to prove you wrong. But then I'm like, am I going to leave? Like, am I really going to leave? Hyperventilated all the way at the airport. Like, the security guard was like, are you okay, miss? I'm like, yes, I'm okay. But I feel like I found a lot of my personal strength being here. When the whole COVID-19 came about and I had family members that were in the hospital and like really, really sick, that was a true test of faith because I wanted to go home. Like, I didn't care what no flight said. I wanted to go home. My dad is like in the hospital, working with the patients. I wanted to be at home, but it's really a spiritual journey. I've learned that I can do anything by faith, and I just have to let go of me trying to be in control and kind of like just let God lead the way. And because he's never going to do anything more than I can handle. And that's really what I've learned. Like, things that I thought, oh no, I could never, I've done and I've overcome. And it's like, okay, I could do it. Like, I don't want to do it again, but I could do it again. I could do this. Like, so I've learned a lot about me, and I've learned a lot from y'all. Like, so Brittany, I'm not business savvy. Like, I don't see myself as a businesswoman. That's just, I know my strengths, and starting a business is not one of them. So, but I see, like, it's possible to have it all. Like, you don't have to have just, I'm just a teacher. Like, you can have a teacher and do other side hustles. So I've learned that.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Make wigs.
I know.
Weekend.
Honestly. Run the whole kitchen and the little 2-hour stove. Yes.
Yes, it is.
So I've learned a lot. And
But
I'm
I
excited
say-
to keep learning.
They definitely say like elevation requires separation. So I feel like, being over here, away from your family, away from like your friends, which you're normal, it gives you that time to kind of elevate yourself and really focus on you. So I appreciate that.
Because I never thought I was going to leave Atlanta. I love Atlanta. I think it's a utopia. Like, I love Atlanta, and I never thought I would really leave.
Clayco.
Yes.
Clayco.
No, I'm not from Clayco. That's
unfortunate.
I'm not from Clayco, but
South side of Atlanta,
but yeah, I'm glad I came though. I don't have any regrets about coming.
Let's be clear.
Some of the decisions I made while I was here, maybe shouldn't have done, but I don't have any regrets about coming.
I can agree with that.
I've learned a lot about just myself, being away from family, and I've gone through some stuff, and it just allowed me to be stronger while I was out here, to share that. I love that. I love that the trials and tribulations that I've gone through previously, I was able to kind of share those experiences and encourage others. Some Bible verses I read over and over to get myself through situations, being able to share. So I learned that about myself. I learned structure. Even though it's hard for me to function in, I need the structure. So I'm learning how to deal without having a ton of structure within my system, my school system.
Look.
Sips tea.
You gotta adopt that inshallah attitude.
I don't have that.
Me either.
So yeah, I've learned a lot, and I've enjoyed my experiences out here, and it's just shown me how much God has grown me.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely think it's a journey for anyone that's, wanting to get out here or, just wanting to come abroad. There are a lot of things. That's a whole nother Couch Chronicles for another day. But I do appreciate this first year. Like, I feel like a lot has happened, and it's really gone by so fast. Like, even with the whole COVID situation and having to switch from being in the classroom to digital or distance learning, that was like a whole 360 in a short amount of time. So, and even for us to, kind of pick up on it pretty quickly and be able to make that transition, because I know some schools in the States didn't even do online learning.
Yeah.
They were just like, we're going to be done for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
We're going to send it
call
back.
it
Yeah.
See y'all next year.
Yeah.
But being able to do that and really not knowing what next year is going to really look like.
Yeah. Walking into the unknown. Before this, I would have been scared, like, because I'm a planner and I like to have things planned. Now it's like I'm slowly but surely adopting this inshallah attitude, because it's like you really just have to go with the flow. Things change. Like, you can go to sleep and it be one way, and when you wake up, it's like effective immediately, a whole new law. So it's like you really just gotta just kind of just go with the flow. Nothing is permanent.
I think that's a blessing, though. Like, when you learn that, when you learn not to let, like the analogy they have about the boat. Like, everything could be going on outside the boat, but when you learn to maintain your, your peace within your own, I feel like this experience has really taught me that, because no matter where we go, if we go home, it's going to be some stuff thrown at us. It's going to be some stuff out of place. Of course, at home, we're more used to structure, and it's like, it's less likely. But now, because we've had this experience, in my opinion, we're going to be ready for whatever, because things can change at the drop of a dime. Like, you will wake up, like my job will wake up and tell me, oh yeah, you got to be teaching online for 6 hours a day and grading, and then you got to plan it. And then, like, I'm like, when am I going to sleep? But, like, you learn how to adjust, and you learn how to maintain your own peace and your own, your own comfort within everything being crazy. So I think, like, that's really a blessing, being able to be thrown into this and figure out that you can still float even when the waters are real murky.
You may get dipped under a couple times, but
you're going to get a little wet, but you're going to be all right.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
So how are you guys greeting adversity with everything with the pandemic? With, sometimes our schools do stuff that don't make no sense at all. So how are you greeting adversity with grace and understanding?
I'm realizing that everything I think doesn't need to be said. Don't need to be in no email. Like, everything I think doesn't need to be out there. I can keep something, and it's just kind of like weighing, like, okay, if I say it or if I send this in the email, what are all the possibilities of, what's the reaction? What action am I gonna get back? So some things, it's like, if it's not something that I can personally control, I just have to just let it go, like, and just realize that, don't sweat the small stuff. It sounds cliche, but it's the truth. Like, if it don't affect my day-to-day routine, and even if it does, it might just be like a small change.
Small little rock in the boat.
And it's not that detrimental to anything else. It's just like a little change. So it's just kind of like, whatever. Like, you want me to do it, whatever. This is your school. I'm just a teacher. Like, it's like I'm just one of your employees. So if this sinks, it ain't on me. If we fail, it ain't because the city failed. It's because city followed directions.
Yeah.
That you didn't
I'm following the leader. I'm following the leader.
I think for me, it's just redirecting my focus. Like she said, like he who angers you controls you. So when I get in those moments, I always remember, number one, my why. So why am I here? And two, are these people or whoever doing this, are they losing sleep about it? Is it paying my bills? You know,
no.
In those cases, then I have to redirect my energy and focus on, something that is good. And just, I can only do what I can do. And I know that. So if it's in my willpower to do it, then by all means. But if it's a troubling situation, it's only one person I can take it to, and it's God.
Amen.
So once that's done, then you do what you can do, and after that, then you leave it in His hands to work it out. But I think that's been my saving grace, is to have the connection to be able to pray about stuff, or you're away from your family. It's always good to pick up the phone and be able to call and talk to somebody about it, just to get it off your chest. So shout out to my support system, because I know y'all hear it all the time.
All the time.
But other than that, like when they may not be available or whatever, just talking it out to myself, or just saying, okay, what do you need to do? Like, these are the steps that you need to take to get this done, so that it can turn into a better situation. Because it's all about perspective. So you can face adversity all day, but what are you doing or with the cards that you're dealt? So just trying to change my mindset on it. Because if you think negative, it's going to be a negative reaction. If somebody sends you some negativity and you meet them back with a positive, then, it's going to lift up the situation. So.
And you are what you attract. You put out the positive energy, you're going to get positive energy back. But if all you see is negative and all you spill is negative, then you're only going to get negative. So it is your mindset. So.
I was going to say, I'm just learning to ask for the things that I need. Like, this is for the first time I've had leadership that really, like, checked in with me. Like, how am I doing? Because a lot of times, a lot of times I worked in predominantly black school. I worked in a predominantly black school, and then in the Metro DC, southeast, and then I worked in a Hispanic, predominantly Hispanic. So I worked with two very at-risk communities. But as much as I was checking in with my kids, making sure they were good, it was very rare that my job checked in with me. And as black women, even we do it to ourselves. Like, I had admin that was black, they expect for us to take so much. Like, kid hitting you, it's okay. Like, she gonna handle it. And I even saw myself noticing, the more I taught and the more you do prove that you can manage in these circumstances, they throw more on top of you. It's like you never. So that's where I started to feel very burnt out. Like, if I do a good job, I'm gonna be slammed with more. If I do a bad job, ain't gonna have no job. So it's what do you do? So here I really learned to ask for the things that I need. I was actually empowered by my white counterparts. My white counterparts, if they get in the room and they feel like they can't do something, they say it. I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'm not used to that. So seeing that, I was like, you could say that? You can tell someone, okay, that's nice, I see what you're trying to do, but this is what I have to offer. And if this is what you want, then I'm going to need more time, or this is what I'm going to offer, and then that's it. And I had a very solid team. I'm grateful. And I mean, my school is predominantly not black people. It's a mixture, but it's mostly white, European, from different, Canadian, whatever, from different places. But really, I did see that difference. They don't negotiate about their piece. And I'm I really learned, my piece is not up for negotiation. I'm not about to, if I feel like it's too much, now I will be respectful, and I have learned, not to let my emotions get the best of me and be you know, but I'm just like, okay, well, I understand why you would, you know, that, but given the time allotted, that's not something I'm going to be able to do. And it's been met, thankfully for me, my admin has met it with grace and understanding, but that also comes from how I handle it. So I really just learned to show up for myself, not always having to be so strong, and I really feel like it's helped me grow as a professional and as a person. So yeah.
I still got work. So working through adversity, no, I do have lessons to continue to learn, and I can definitely tell God is making sure I learn those because he continues to allow things to arise and gives me the opportunity to learn from them and work through them. So I think my biggest thing is I've kept my peace, but I also want to keep my peace and hold myself accountable for what I know I can do. Sometimes to keep my peace, I let go of some of the things I'm capable of or the standards that I have, because if you got low standards and this is what you're choosing to do, I'm gonna keep my peace by, okay, that's all you gonna get, and not pushing myself to be my best. And I know as athlete, I'm constantly trying to push myself to be my best, and I've lost a little bit of that this year. So that's what I have work to do, is continuing to push myself to be my best, even while handling the adversity and continuing to keep my peace. So
yeah, it's all, we all a work in progress. I'm definitely like so yeah, that's what's up. But all in all, like I said, I would say I enjoyed this year. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give this year?
Okay, so there's categories.
So what are these categories?
I give it 1
Work
star. Very
life.
ghetto. It's very ghetto.
It's like
It's very
work
ghetto.
life and personal life are the categories.
Okay, so we'll do personal life first.
Personal, outside of work,
Mm-hmm.
I would say about 8.5, 9.
I was gonna say 8.
I was gonna say 9.
Personal life. I don't know. It depends on what you talking about. Personal life, people at home. My connections at home have honestly went down. To be real, yeah. With my family, yeah, but like friends and things at home, it's went down. So I would say, but
well,
my
out here.
Oh, out here, 10.
Oh, 10.
I got beautiful people around me. 10 all day. Look here.
Yeah.
Look here. Even my white friend. Not my little white friend. But I'll be honest, I ain't have any white friends. But all of a sudden, like, us being here in this environment has, you know, exposed me to, you know, oh, y'all all right, I guess.
I need to work on that. I don't have no white friends.
Well, I had some back home.
I didn't have,
Like one of my best, I had a best
associate.
teacher friend was white.
Oh, your best
I
teacher
love
friend?
her. Yes.
And it's something about teachers, like, I feel like it's a different, you know, not all, but like it's like a different heart on us. So I love, like, and that's mainly where they came from work. But I really, like, they really helped me see light where I once didn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Different perspectives.
Yeah. I would say, personal. I just wish obviously nobody wants the pandemic, but I feel like we missed out on a lot of stuff because like the traveling, the just getting out doing stuff, because it kind of put a lot of halt on going out, like yacht party. We did some stuff.
We did, but it was like there's a lot more that we could
that
have
we
done
missed
that the whole country has to offer that we didn't.
And we were waiting for this moment.
Yes, like we were waiting for spring break, we're waiting for summer, and it was literally our spring break was like snatched, and our summer is like kind of snatched too. So that's why it's kind of knocked down some points. But overall, like I think everybody that I've come in contact with, it's I've learned something from everyone. Like even the people at work that I don't necessarily, you know, get along with, but I still learn something from everyone. So, and I think that's when you can look at the positive in every situation, you kind of grow from it. Like, nothing is all negative. So, if you can find that little piece of positive, I think I've learned something from everybody. So, I think everybody's kind of helped make me into a better Sydney. But, you know, you keep evolving, you keep growing.
But we can always go back to the 5.
Yes.
Cause it's
Just let me know
that's our
when.
vacation.
That's
They
right.
tired
Right
of
there.
it. They tired
We
of
about to
it.
be VIP members.
I was gonna say that is part of the reason that I would say my points went up is Corona, because I had a chance to go through the trenches even more. Like, I think we thought we was going through the trenches, and then everything started going left
We
and
gonna
right,
need
and
some
to
trench.
feel the support
This the real
from
trench.
all these ladies on the couch made my personal go up even higher, because it also made me reach out to check on people a little bit more to make sure everybody was okay. To sometimes, as my personality, I don't always stay connected to my friends as I should. Sorry, everybody who watches this, they know. Jewel can get disconnected, and I feel like this made me want to stay connected. It made me want to make sure each one of you guys were okay, to check on you guys, to make sure I showed up to anything we was doing, whether it was the 5 or anything. So I think that was one of the reasons it went higher, because I was able to connect more. I needed you guys more, and I wanted to be there for you guys more.
And I think our last retreat kind of had that switch. Like, that's when
Yes.
it was
It took it up.
like, it did. It elevated us to a whole different level, because
Our women's retreat was everything.
it was lit. It should be annual. And I even had people back at home like, yo, I want to do that with my friends.
I request another party plan.
Brittany
It
did
was
her
literally
thing. Nobody can do it like
detail.
her.
Always be Brittany.
Every detail that Brittany planned
Man.
helped to make it a better experience. Like, from even like the boards that we did. Not saying we did everything on them, because some days we didn't do everything
They
on the
showed
board.
didn't missing them potatoes.
But it was like the boards, the morning prayer, like literally
Morning prayer was
everything.
everything. But I had never done nothing like that. Like, I always journal and do like self-care things on my own, but I encourage everyone, like at home, wherever you are, like grab the women closest to you,
Yes.
and just pour into each other. And like, even it's changed my mind, like always going out and always doing stuff like that. Like, you get so much more out of just doing stuff like this, talking with your friends, like hearing where their heart is, and like, you know, that retreat really gave us the opportunity to like tap back in with who we were, like who we want to be moving forward.
You can just be yourself, like just
Yeah.
vulnerably, just yourself, just be vulnerable. To like go to someone and be like, hey, do you want to pray with me? It's so powerful.
Yes.
And
that's a real intimacy too.
yes, and then we've done that, like in the retreat, out of the retreat, like Siobhan, we prayed together. It was like, that is powerful to have sisters and friends that you can just be like, hey, can you go to God with me?
Yeah.
And we've done that, so.
I think it was very informative too. It was a time where yes, we went to God, you know, we worked on self, like it was a release, like just mind, body, and soul, just being able to relax, just even though we still work, we worked,
still working.
everybody was working, so
And we
All
turned
day
up.
and party
we
all
turned up.
some wrong with others.
Work, oh yeah, a lot longer than others. Some of us only had a little bit.
Get over 30 minutes. But yeah, I definitely that week was amazing.
We definitely had to do it.
We had a good time. Yes, somebody else can plan it, but
Brittany, we just gonna give her another year.
Yeah.
She'll be
She'll be
recuperated.
she'll be ready again.
Yeah.
We're gonna give her another
Yes.
year. And then she'll
but
be
I always end up planning stuff though. That's how I be like.
this time we gonna help though.
We are gonna
please.
help. And if
We'll
we gotta
help.
move, we all help move.
We ain't moving. We gonna check. We gonna check that. We gonna check it. We not gonna move no bags until we know we like this. And I'm gonna get them to sign off.
Let me tell
And I will
y'all.
have a form.
No.
And y'all gonna sign off. Because I'm not moving.
So we were at the
I'm not
5.
moving nothing.
Meanwhile, so we were at the 5. I had we wanted to move
I will
room
have contracts
for a
them.
better
I'm not playing.
view, but we had already set up and everything was, you know,
everything
It was,
was
y'all, we had
Oh,
8 carts of stuff. 8 carts of stuff.
food.
She had a whole kitchen, Brittany's catering
We
service.
just had the party the day before.
yeah, we had just
We had leftovers. We had cake that was 3 layers, 3 different layers.
So
Seasonings.
the manager calls and lets me know that the room will be ready for us to move in 20 minutes. So I politely went around and told everybody.
When you asked,
I asked, I'm like,
I said, do y'all care? She's like, well, I don't care. As soon as I heard Brittany say, I don't care.
In the back.
Yes.
is why we need to.
Yeah.
But after we're all sitting around looking at each other like, I don't care.
But
Shavon heard that.
initially,
She went to the
I
back.
went off the
We
initial response.
continued the conversation while she was in the back, and then Brittany gave her explanation of
I
why
went
we
off
need to
the first
move.
initial. Oh,
And
y'all
then we all were like, fine, okay, we gonna move,
that hair
Brittany.
started to rise up.
Here comes Shavon. Out
You
the
know how
back
the hair
like,
started to rise up.
So Shavon come in the back talk about. I done already called you.
We were
I
like,
did not
we're
move.
like,
Did not
oh,
move.
Shavon, we're moving.
Like-
She was like, I already got off the phone. We ain't moving.
So the man calling me like, Miss, you just said, move. I said, no, we moving.
Oh wait, but
Then, no.
Who started helping moving?
No.
Because it wasn't the people that said yeah. The people who came back, we saw it so beautiful. I said, well, why y'all not packing stuff up?
So
Why
she
y'all
was
not
a little
packing stuff
salty.
up?
She didn't want to move,
Shavon did
didn't want to
not
pack up the
wanna
stuff.
move.
But then when we get over there, the
I
first
went,
one,
I sat down.
first one to want to take pictures. Oh, yes. Oh, this a better view. Like, the same person.
And I earned it because I moved all shit there. And I earned it.
Barely.
No, not barely. If it wasn't for Sam out there struggling, I said, where are the people that went upstairs? I said, are they coming back down? No. I said, so who gonna get their stuff? They left laptops. They just knew somebody was gonna move their stuff. I said, Sam, you should leave it. Y'all better be thankful for Sam. Sam helped me with center. Shout out to Sam, because Sam was a real. If it wasn't for Sam looking at like, I'm like, Sam, you gotta do. They left you to do this all by yourself. She was like, well, I don't mind. I said, Sam, you got a heart that I don't, because I'm mine.
And I'll tell
I'm
her
mine. I said, some of y'all need to come back down here. It's like 10 of y'all up there.
Yes.
We were downstairs. I think
We
was
were.
staying
Me and Brittany were
downstairs.
handling business.
You got that extra night.
Exactly.
You got that extra
We got
night.
an extra night for the Frizz naive. Hello?
That was nice. We did.
Yes.
And I had a room to my, I appreciated that extra
Yes.
night.
Look, we got your room to yourself.
Yes.
With the luggage.
I think everything was perfect.
Like around the bed. I appreciated that.
Everything that week was perfect. Because when you first was like 7 days, I was like, shit, I don't know. If I'm gonna do
I know.
7 days. And I was like, I'll do 4 days. And then
But we had space. We gave each
Yes.
other space.
We did, and that was important. We did have space, but I was glad I stayed the 7 days. Because everybody had brought their own little, like, I like how everybody brought their own little thing to the group, and we all presented our own little thing. Like, everybody
Had their own wisdom.
yes, and like it was just like a perfect puzzle. Like everybody had their piece, and it came together just perfectly. Even like the people that didn't stay but still came, like it was great.
It was beautiful.
It really was.
Except for that one time.
Yeah.
No,
I was
we
like,
got-
that's my pause. I was like, everybody that
We ain't
came,
gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we just gonna leave that, but
Lord
it was
God.
still nice.
Yes,
It was
it
still very nice. I'm ready for round 2.
Bing. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this Couch
Yeah.
Chronicles with us. We will see you again next Sunday. We'll
Yeah.
holla at y'all. Y'all have a good night.
Stay healthy.
Stay healthy.